Hey guys, what's going on? This is Dice Squad. I am Marshall Dice, known as Adam Campbell, and I'm live here at Origins Game Fair 2016 with...
I'm Chris O'Neill of Brotherwise Games, makers of Boss Monster.
And Brotherwise Games, we talked to you last year.
You did. We had fun, and Croak remembers it well.
So what's been going on this year at 2016 with Boss Monster at Origins?
We've got all kinds of things going on. At Origins, we've been teasing the 5 to 6 player expansion, which is going to be launching at Gen Con. It's a mini expansion, kind of like Tools of Hero Kind. It introduces 45 all-new cards, and they're actually going to be a new treasure type. Because what we're doing here is we're taking the 2 to 4 player game of Boss Monster, and we're blowing it up to a 5 to 6 player game, and introducing the new alien artifact treasure type to do that. So there'll be a new hero class, the Intrepid Explorers, and they'll be exploring the sci-fi themed dungeons of the alien invaders that have crash landed in Boss Monster.
So are there going to be like new alien heroes?
There are some alien heroes. There'll be some references to some of your favorite heroes from sci-fi movies and pop culture. We've got some alien bosses, Klonos, the cloning doppelganger boss, and Imperiatrix, the queen of the swarm. So we've got all kinds of fun stuff going on.
Is that a reference to StarCraft?
I cannot say. We parody many things in this game.
Alrighty. So what else have you been... I also hear you have a new playmat?
We have a new playmat. So the playmat, people are loving it. It's a very beautiful mat. And it's actually a 2-player mat. So you just need one of these for your 2-player games. Right there. Look how lovely that is. These have been really hot at Origins, where in fact we're about to sell out of these. We'll have them back at Gen Con, and they'll be in stores as well. We've also got the Paper and Pixels pack, which is a little booster. It's not a random booster. It's actually got 14 of the same cards. These are cards we created for the digital version of the game that you can find on iPad, Android, or Steam. They do some things like random effects and tokens, which were easier to do digitally than on the tabletop version of the game. But we decided they were so much fun, we wanted to make analog versions, so we made those cards as paper. And those will also be available in stores soon. We saw those as part of a retailer incentive back in 2015, but we're releasing them now because they were in such high demand.
Fantastic.
We also did the collector's box because folks were finding the Boss Monster box a little small to store all the sleeve cards. So the collector's box will hold all your sleeve cards and more, and comes with its own pack of cards, the portable pack, which introduces Moby, the portable boss, and gives you a little bit more ability to move rooms around in your dungeon. It's a lot of fun.
So I know we talked last year, but going a little bit back, with Boss Monster, have you always been a fan of card games and role-playing games like here at Origins?
Always. I mean, I was a nerd, born and bred. I played Dungeons & Dragons as a kid, mostly creating characters. Didn't have as many friends to play with, but I still had a lot of fun with it. Once the video games came on the scene and the NES came out, we had one in our house. We were playing Zelda, we were playing Mario. All those games stuck in our heads for all those years and got parodied and paid homage to in the world of Boss Monster. So all of that sort of developed over the years. My brother and I, we didn't always live in the same state as we grew older, but whenever we got together, it was always we'd be playing games, playing video games. And we thought, you know, we wanted to both make fun of and give thanks to all those wonderful characters and all those wonderful adventures we had played over the years. That's why they show up as Easter eggs in Boss Monster so much.
Now was the original idea for Boss Monster the same as with creating a dungeon with hero? Was that the original concept, or was there different ideas like with video games?
No, Boss Monster started off in a bet between my brother and I way back when. Actually, when he was still in college and I was in grad school. We decided to see which of us could make a tabletop game. My recollection is that Boss Monster started as a game about popularity amongst high school girls. Something we didn't know enough about to make a good game. So it morphed over those years into its current form. But it was a long time in the making. You know, any game designer will tell you sort of have to kill your darlings. And so it went through multiple deaths and was resurrected during that time period. And I think I actually won the bet. I think I came up with the game first, but fortunately we had the foresight to invest more in his game.
So what was the, if you won the bet, what was the consequence?
It was either dinner and a beer, or the other guy bought you a big tabletop game. I cannot actually remember. It was so long ago. Those years have long passed.
Now so Boss Monster, and then you
Yeah.
have Tools of Hero Kind.
Yes.
Which was that originally part of that, or did you guys like think, or was that originally part of the game itself, or was that a?
Tools of Hero Kind was an idea that came up early on where in the traditional boss monster, the heroes more or less serve as a resource. You're the boss trying to lure heroes into your dungeon. You use treasure value in your dungeon to attract certain heroes. When a fighter comes into town, they want to go adventure in the dungeon that has the most fighter swords. That's where they'll go. We found as we were playing it that was a great game, sort of a bidding game. It was a wonderful casual game, but I tended to be a little bit more strategic gamer. I was generally looking for things which are a little bit more complex. And so, we asked the question, what if the heroes were themselves a threat? So Tools of Hero Kind, if you're thinking about picking it up, it actually makes those heroes much tougher. They come into town, they pick up an item card that may be specific to their class. The Necronomicon is specific to mages. They pick it up and it gives them mage powers and makes them harder to kill in your dungeon. If you do kill them, you as the boss get to steal that item card from the hero and use its own effect for your own nefarious purposes at some point. So I really like it. It's lots of fun. If you haven't tried Tools of Hero Kind and you're a fan of Boss Monster, try it. It changes the game a lot. Gives you a totally new gaming experience.
And so then Boss Monster 2.
Yes.
What made you think to make a sequel to the original Boss Monster? Because the Boss Monster is a classic.
Well, I think folks were asking for it. I mean, people love Boss Monster, but they wanted more Boss Monster. So we decided to do a whole new set of cards. We took some of the things which we liked about the first game, but wanted to tweak a little bit. So we introduced a little bit more cross-table play into the second Boss Monster for gamers who are looking for more interaction. But we tried to keep that same casual, fun feel that attracted gamers and non-gamers alike to the original game. Boss Monster 2 also has some of those heroes have special powers. There's hybrid heroes who are attracted to two different types of treasure. And the goal was to make a game that would add some new synergies when shuffled together with the original Boss Monster. So Boss Monster 2 is a standalone game, but you can also shuffle them together. All of the cards in the entire world of Boss Monster are playable together.
Two worlds collide.
You can have a giant Boss Monster game going on.
Now, I also know that Boss Monster, the original Boss Monster, is on Android as an app now.
It is. It is.
How was the tradition from tabletop to smartphone? Was that an easy transition, or was that
a challenging transition developmentally? Those of you who played Boss Monster know that the rules are a little bit different than your traditional rules in terms of priority. There's no stack. So some of those things to resolve were tough to do digitally, but ultimately I'm really happy with what our partners Playing Concepts did. And right now all three of those versions are playing very well. You can actually download it for free on any one of those three platforms: Steam, Android, iOS, and Kindle. You can play with a limited set of bosses, and then unlocking it just gives you the full boss set. So you can get the full digital Boss Monster experience for free just checking that out.
And when because with your new set, is that going to be coming to Android and smartphone soon?
Probably not soon, because it's a little tough to get all those players onto a limited screen size, right? 6 players on an iPad screen can be challenging to accommodate, but maybe eventually, absolutely.
All right, awesome. And we'll have links below. And I don't understand, if you're not here at Origins, I understand why you're not. Where can people find all of your products?
We are in stores across the U.S., in Europe, in South America now. You can find us just about anywhere. We've got licensed versions in various languages: Italian, German, Polish, French,
Espanol,
Spanish. We might be doing a Ukrainian version soon even. So anywhere you want to find Boss Monster, you're going to find it. You can also find us on the web at brotherwisegames.com. Of course, we're in friendly local game stores everywhere you go, and that's where we hope you'll go to buy Boss Monster. We want to support our game store partners, and plus you can go in there and find folks to play with. We've got the retail kits for those guys. It's a special. It includes some play mats, some cards, and a paper crown, kind of like the old Burger King crowns, to crown the winner of a game night.
And I also know that here at Origins you had some Boss Monster tournaments. How did those go?
Those were great. We gave over about $500, and we gave out over $500 in prizes, and our winners. Everybody had a lot. Everybody walked away with prizes. We'll have those tournaments again at Gen Con. Actually, 3 days of tournaments with qualifiers and a semifinal and a final. And the champion there is going to walk away with over $500 in prizes. So we hope to see you at Gen Con.
Wow. Well, check out Gen Con. All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
And Croak says thank you. Stop by and see Croak at Gen Con. We'll be there. We'll also be demoing the virtual reality version of Boss Monster at Gen Con.
There's a virtual
virtual reality version.
Oh, wait, stop the presses. Stop. We can't stop the interview just yet.
This
virtual
is very cool. Yeah, we are one of the first board games to go virtual. So Altspace VR is a company out of San Francisco, has developed a free-to-use virtual reality version of Boss Monster. You can just Google that, Google Altspace VR Boss Monster, and if you have a Oculus, if you have a Vibe, if you have any, it's compatible with any of the headsets that are out right now. You'll drop into the Boss Monster Tavern room, which is just fantastic. There's a giant dragon head. You'll be able to show some pictures of this.
Absolutely.
And you can play Boss Monster with somebody across the world at the same time virtually, and it looks exactly like you're playing it on a tabletop. It is fantastic.
So can we see like King Croak in the third dimension?
You will. King Croak is not in there, but the Great Dragon head, the Great Dragon is. So check it out. And if you're at Gen Con, stop by our booth, and you'll actually be able to play virtual reality Boss Monster and see what maybe part of the future of tabletop gaming looks like. So if your buddy moved away and you're not with your gaming group anymore, you may still be able to game with them. It's really exciting what's happening with this, and we're eager to be one of the first people trying it out.
That's fantastic. Well, you heard it here, folks. Go to Gen Con, virtual reality Boss Monster. What more could you ask for?
We'll see. It's a lot of fun. So,
but once again, thank you again. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. And from all of us here at Dice Squad, continuing our coverage of Origins Game Fair 2016, this is Marshall Dice Knows Adam Campbell.
And this is Chris O'Neill from Brotherwise Games.
And we'll see you guys later.
All right.